In regard to distribution of health facilities, notably is that Lango sub-region only has one general hospital, despite having a population of 2.567 million, which necessitates at least additional 4 general hospitals to cover that gap. On the status of infrastructure within the region, we noted that Leero Regional Referral Hospital was constructed in 1928 and is limited in terms of space. We actually found a tent being used as a ward for postnatal, holding mothers who had just given birth in 1 or 2 days, which was in a very poor state in terms of ventilation, air circulation, and also cleanliness. We also noted that Apart General Hospital, which was constructed in 1968, has never had any renovations done since, and we found several structures that were in a significant dilapidated state. So our recommendations are in terms of, one, ensuring that Leero Regional Referral Hospital gets alternative space for accommodating the pregnant mothers or mothers that have just delivered to avoid the challenges that we observe, and also appropriating more funds for renovation of our Patch General Hospital. The other key finding is that there are health center 3s that have never got any support of infrastructure funding, and also health center 4s, and these need to be considered, plus also having a standard design and size for the drug stores. Each year we have been increasing the budget for medicines, but we've not increased the budget for the storage areas. The third aspect on the human resource is, as generally observed, but notably was a shortage of staff within the ICU unit, but also specifically we found that, for example, in Apart General Hospital, in the X-ray department, the waiting time was as long as 5 hours because there was only one radiographer to operate the 2 X-ray machines that were available. We also noticed that in Leero Regional Referral Hospital, the radiographer who was assigned to be on duty on that day had not turned up, and for 2 to 3 days, patients had not had scanning services, CT scan, X-ray, and also ultrasound scan services provided. In regard to availability of medicines, we observed some of the facilities. The Leero Regional Referral Hospital was well stocked together with the health center 3s that we visited, but the general hospital was in significant shortage of drugs, and we actually found that only 40 patients had turned up on that day, yet the health center 3 that we had gone to had about 80 patients. Notably was the issue of artificial stockouts, where in Leero Regional Referral Hospital we found unlabeled medicines in the ward, but when we went to the drug store, we found the same medicines labeled as Government of Uganda, meaning that the medicines were available, but the patient still had to go and purchase the same medicines despite them being within the facility. So critical in our recommendations is that the Ministry of Health should expedite the rollout of digitization of medicine supplies and linkage to national medical stores in order to mitigate the artificial stockouts. As regards the diagnostic services, we noted that the ICU only had 4 beds, yet they had a capacity of 10, so 6 were not installed, and the reason was because they had inadequate human resource and also space. In addition to the neonatal intensive care unit, which had a capacity of 20, but were receiving up to 100 neonates within it. We also noted that the CT scan charges rates differed from those provided by the Ministry of Health, where the facility was charging 200,000 as the upper limit, yet Ministry had directed a maximum of 150,000 shillings. In our recommendations, key is that due to the huge burden of sickle cell disease, Leero Regional Referral needs to be equipped with an electrophoresis sickle cell testing machine to avoid the transport or having to have the samples sent to Kampala for testing. Finally, on Karamoja sub-region, we noted that in terms of the burden of disease, there are also cases of mortality. There was a high malaria burden, and In addition to that, we also noticed that there was high cases of liver cirrhosis. This was mainly attributed to two factors. One is the hepatitis B infection and also alcoholism, as reported to us. On the specific findings on distribution of health facilities, Karamoja has a population of 1.4 million with 2 general hospitals that are government and 1 private not-for-profit facility. Notably was that we were informed that one of the private not-for-profit facility, Matany Hospital in Napak district, was facing financial constraints due to an impending total withdrawal of funding from the Italian funders. And we've recommended that government should consider taking over Matany Hospital as a government facility, plus also planning for other health center 4s and health center 3s. On the status of infrastructure, Right Honourable Speaker, this is one of the areas where there were big challenges in Karamoja sub-region. We noted several buildings within the Moroto Regional Referral Hospital that were dilapidated, having been constructed in 1948, and they did not have a functional mortuary, and therefore have to rely on Mbale and Soroti Regional Referral Hospitals. They also did not have a functional ICU, despite having the equipment, because they didn't have the space. In addition, they had the highest rate of cesarean section. What is acceptable is for every 100 mothers that come, a maximum of 15 should undergo a cesarean section for delivery. However, the figures were as high as 45%, and this was attributed due to non-functionality of some of the theaters in the health center 4s. We also noted that one of the big constraints in terms of infrastructure development is because they were not the major beneficiaries of the UGIF program, because they had the Karamoja Infrastructure Development Plan, which delayed to commence, and as a result of that, many of the health center 2s have not been upgraded to health center 3s. We also noted a Beam Hospital and Kotido General Hospitals that had not received the required funds for renovation. For example, Beam since 1968 has never had any renovation, and we also found the facility did not have any water supply available in it. So we recommend the provision of the necessary funds. But notably, a Beam Hospital did not have 3-phase power, which was critical for running some of the equipment that they have within the lab and also in the imaging. On the status of human resource, these are the same observations that we've observed across the sub-region. However, notably was that there were staff working in critical areas, majorly as volunteers without substantive appointment. As regards the status of diagnostic services, we noted that the digital X-ray in a Beam Hospital has not been functional for the last 7 years. This is a new digital X-ray machine, but because of lack of 3-phase power, it has never been installed. The ICU also at Moroto is not functional, despite having 10 ICU beds that were already delivered there for the last 2 years. And therefore, there is need for intervention on the diagnostic services. As regard availability and utilization of medicines and supplies, we noted in Karamoja they didn't have the same challenges of drug shortages observed in the different other sub-regions. However, they had challenges in regard to availability of blood, and they also had challenges in regard to issues to do with malnutrition within the sub-region itself, and also having the nutritional feeds to be provided. And therefore, recommendations, as I conclude, is for Nakasero Blood Bank to work with the Regional Referral Hospital to mitigate the blood shortages, and also national medical stores should make adequate provisions for malnutrition therapies for the health facilities in the sub-region. We noticed that most of the support they get are from the development partners, but support for food, therapeutic foods or medicinal foods from national medical stores is limited. And it's also very important for the Ministry of Agriculture to scale up interventions for food security in the region. In conclusion, the committee notes that the government policy on health emphasizes access to high-quality health care by all Ugandans as a means of guaranteeing their contribution to the country's socio-economic transformation. In line with government's commitment to preventive health care, as opposed to curative services, which are costly, more emphasis should be on ensuring equitable access to well-equipped health facilities, trained and motivated health workers, in addition to improvement in the health care delivery systems. Right Honourable Speaker, honourable members, I beg to submit.
Thank you, Chair. Honourable Nyakrat, Honourable Pascal Meja, Honourable Stera, Honourable Amos. I'm trying to pick those who haven't spoken. If you know, Honourable Rinda, Honourable Taban, Dr. Taban, Dr. Yume, yes, Honourable Gwar, Moses. Then I come to the opposition. Okay.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to join and identify myself with the committee's report, which was well presented by my senior brother, Honourable Dr. Opiyo. Right Honourable Speaker, at times you question yourself that once the appropriation is done for a money specifically to execute a duty towards service delivery, like what happened to Awaj Health Center 4, Right Honourable Speaker, you find a money was allocated, 400 million, and all of a sudden the money disappears, and work has already begun. The work stalled, and nobody can give a clear explanation to the people on ground, neither to the district local government. You wonder why. Number two, Right Honourable Speaker, looking at the government policy of having all health center 3s in all the sub-counties that we have, Right Honourable Speaker, I want to plead with the committee and plead with the whole House. In my own district of Gulu, Achua constituency, Right Honourable Speaker, up to now, when some sub-counties were created, you find in Paibona sub-county, Pokony sub-county, Owalo sub-county, and Boantera sub-county are still lacking health centers 3s, giving a big load to the health center 4, serving a population of 135,000 population. Right Honourable Speaker, if government wants to walk the talk, let's implement the policy the way it is on the paper and the way it is in the country. Right Honourable Speaker, Awaj Health Center 4, up to now, Right Honourable Speaker, when a patient dies, you need to come up to Gulu City to access the mortuary at Gulu Referral Hospital, or you beg and access the mortuary at 4th Division Barracks. I want to plead again that, Right Honourable Speaker, if that can be taken to account so that our population get the services down and near to where they are, Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to humbly submit.
Thank you. Honourable Pascal Meja.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, and I want to thank the Chair of the committee for the elaborate report. Right Honourable Speaker, Pajule Health Center 4 was placed by the President to be elevated to a district hospital. Right Honourable Speaker, we believe that pledges of the President take precedence, because the President gives pledges in a way that there are some criteria or some procedures that it takes for something to be given, like a health center, to be upgraded to health center, to a district hospital. So why can't government take into consideration Pajule Health Center 4 to be upgraded as the President has pledged? Secondly, Right Honourable Speaker, Pajule Health Center 4 is currently the biggest health center we are having in Pade district. And Right Honourable Speaker, we are having too much mother delivery in Pajule Health Center 4, which is so incapacitated in the deliver. We do not have enough delivery wards for the mothers who are delivering from there. Ministry pledged that they are going to fully facilitate the health center 4 to be having every facility required to the standard of health center 4. Up to now, we still do not have that. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to go on the issue of nodding disease. with your wisdom, Right Honourable Speaker, last time you recommended in Parliament that the children of nodding disease be given priority in the budget. Right Honourable Speaker, up to now we have not realized anything allocated to these children who are battling with nodding disease. Let government take intervention and serious intervention with an affirmative action to these children, because they are there and they are still living with us in that condition. Lastly, Right Honourable Speaker, Awere Health Center 4 was upgraded. Health Center 3 was upgraded to a Health Center 4. But as I speak, Right Honourable Speaker, up to now, Awere Health Center 4 is not yet receiving drug to the level of Health Center 4. Our plea to the ministry that let them ensure that all the Health Center 4s receive recommended level of drug to the standard. I beg to submit, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. I want to join my colleagues to thank the committee for having carried the field activity and come up with a report that has identified challenges and given recommendations on how to solve the problems regarding the sector of health in Northern Karamoja. I want to disagree with the report on the aspect of that states that Karamoja does not face drug shortages. Karamoja equally faces drug outstocks. There are cases whereby you go to the referral hospital and you're told to buy to the extent of buying a gloves, bandages, all the drugs to treat a patient. That states that Karamoja also faces drug shortages. And these drug shortages are mostly caused due to non-compliance of national medical stores to deliver drugs to the health facilities as required by the policy. Two, Honourable Speaker, Moroto Referral Hospital was given by the Ministry of Health an oxygen plant in the year 2022-2023, and it was contracted to the UPDF Engineering Brigade to do the construction of the plant. And the plant was meant to produce 100 cylinders of oxygen in 24 hours to facilitate all health centers in the region. The construction was supposed to take 1 year. After the UPDF brigade finished the construction, the oxygen plant equipments were brought, but it was realized later that some of the oxygen plant equipments would not fit the structure that was already in place, leaving some of the equipments outside being exposed to harsh weather conditions. And to date, that has not been rectified. Yet the referral hospital had reported that to the ministry. I want to request that the ministry quickly intervenes to make sure that the design of the structure is rectified such that the equipments that we are meant to get in order for the plant to start functioning to serve the Karamojongs. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Taban. Dr. Taban.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to support the motion and thank the committee for this report. Right Honorable Speaker, in Koboko district where I come from, we do not have a district hospital, and our current hospital is under construction, and the delay in payments to the contractors has led to stall in the work. So the process is very slow, and the 500 million comes once in a while. Therefore, we need the government to look into this. Secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, West Nile does not have a mortuary, a regional mortuary. Right, Honorable Speaker, our regional mortuary has a capacity of 5 people. So I do not know how we as a region, as a sub-region, West Nile, can be able to be assisted so that we can increase in the capacity of the mortuary so that we can keep our dead people for those who are willing to stay, to keep theirs longer. Lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, there is understaffing in our hospitals, generally in the sub-region. Right Honorable Speaker, the state at which our people are handled is very, very sickening. Right Honorable Speaker, if only government can really deploy our interns so that we from West Nile can benefit from extra doctors, we could use this opportunity. I take the information.
Honorable Irene.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Irene.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I'm Linda Agnes.
Sorry.
Thank you so much.
This is the second time I'm doing it.
No, I do understand.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to join my colleagues in appreciating the Committee for Health for the elaborate reporting on the status of our health facilities in northern Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to be specific, especially to my district of Leero. Leero district, since this term started, this political term started, we have never officially received any infrastructure development fund under health in Leero district. Right Honorable Speaker, we have made several written letters requesting with the district leadership, but nothing was given to us. It was unfortunate that in the last financial year, a fund worth 4 billion came abruptly to the district account, and a letter was written immediately to transfer it to another district. That's when me, the LC5 and the cow, we battled out and managed to get one health facility that is under construction. But pushing for that, it caused for us more problems. Right now, we have a health facility called Onywako Health Center too, in the border of the Chief Whip constituency and my constituency. It's too crowded that the capacity of the health facility cannot handle the patients. We have tried to lobby under UGIF, which was under the ministry. It was to no avail. Right Honorable Speaker, in Erute North, at Romo Health Center 4, the maternity ward is in a very bad state. That the ceiling board collapsed on a mother on delivery. I've even pleaded for renovation, but nothing was granted. But lucky enough, we had to try to use some NGO to try to renovate. This Sunday, I will be going to a health facility called Abala. Women are going with a small torch for delivery. But we have tried our best. So my humble prayer, one, is for Ministry of Health to try to balance their services. Two, is for Ministry of Health to really liaise with Ministry of Energy to provide electricity in these health facilities. Because now the burden is on us. I have to take solar panels with its installation to a health facility to protect my women. Three, Right Honorable Speaker, the President came to Lango and we put the request because of our population, and he agreed to upgrade 5 health centers, 4 to a district hospital, where Ogur Health Center 4 was among them. This letter, a follow-up letter by the district and with the leadership, have resulted to nothing. So my humble request is that these health facilities should be put as amendment in the report so that it's adopted as a whole. I beg to submit.
Honorable Mosokot.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the report of the committee, I stand to support most of the recommendations that they have indicated. But allow me to thank the Village Health team. Many of our Village Health team, they are doing very wonderful work, especially during a time of immunization. In most cases, they do the work, and sometimes even they don't receive the small allowances that are supposed to be given to them. I would recommend that this Parliament should recognize and allow a resolution so that the Minister of Health do something great to these people. If anything, support them with a good movement transport system. Number two, the government has come out with a policy of changing all the Health Center 2s into Health Center 3, upgrading it, which is a good policy. But, Mr. Speaker, in the north, many of our sub-counties, there are big, large, and when you take a parish alone can even be to the size of a sub-county. But you find these Health Center 2s, before the change of the policies, it was in some parishes, and other parishes were not having Health Center 2s. I support the idea, but there are those remaining Health Center 2s which have not been yet upgraded into Health Center 3. For example, in Agago North County, I have Okwadoro, I have Paluti, Torama, Kasisiru, Mia Pachua, Abili Nino, Amiel, and others that are supposed to be upgraded to Health Center 3. I would request that the Minister of Health should understand and take this thing up and roll it out. On the other hand, sub-counties, like, for example, Kalao Town Council. Kalao Town Council is big to the level that can even accommodate to become almost a municipality. But this is a place which does not even have government health centers. And people in the town of Kalao have to travel to the sub-county which is neighboring them. I would request, even I made a request on that. On the 26th of May, 2022, I wrote a letter to the Minister of Health. They received it, but they kept quiet. I would wish if they could respond to a bigger town like Kalao Health Center to give us Health Center 3. Finally, as I conclude, Mr. Speaker, Agago North deserve to have a constituency Health Center 4. This is the time the ministry should help us. It is in the report of the committee that is supposed to be done. I also request this to be included. CT scan to Lacho Hospital, Kitgum Regional Referral Hospital, Kitgum Hospital to be upgraded to Kitgum Regional Referral Hospital. Because even now, as we talk, there are now two sub-regions in Acholi sub-region. There's Western Acholi and Eastern Acholi. I thank you for the opportunity, and may God bless the Parliament and bless Uganda. Thank you.
Now, honorable colleagues, I'm seeing the trend we are taking, we are generally reporting what is happening in our constituency. Even me in my constituency. Okay? The gaps. If I was to give each one of you to report about the gaps in the we wouldn't have a constructive debate coming out of this. We're just looking for solutions. Honorable Ababiku, Jessica.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity. I have listened carefully to this report, and I want to narrow my observation on the issue of the equipments. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, I want to thank government for the efforts put, but even where we have equipments, many of them are not functional. So I will recommend that government must ensure that those equipments in our districts are made functional. Two, Right Honourable Speaker
and colleagues the issue of maternity wards and delivery rooms. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, I have raised this matter in the House severally, but no action has been taken. My women are delivering in grass thatch room. And this time there is flooding again in the Ajuman district. I'm so worried that if action is not taken immediately, what happened in Kitezi is going to happen in Ajumani over mothers and over children who are in hospital. Right Honourable Speaker, I have concern on the issue of staffing. Critical positions are not filled. We are complaining about non-employment, underemployment. I request that the ministry takes this serious on why people are not interested in serving in our region, especially West Nile, Madi sub-region. They look at the distances, and this makes it so difficult for our people to get what they're expected to get. Right Honourable Speaker, I pray that the Godo Hospital, that is the Ajuman District Hospital, be extended to really accommodate the population of the refugees. Initially, that hospital is intended to accommodate only the citizens with small population. Now our population has increased and the refugees have added on ours, and therefore many people are suffering. They are not getting services because we are failing to accommodate. Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Margaret Tarepel. I had seen her behind there. Then Honourable Batom.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I also want to thank the committee for this good report. They have rightly observed what is taking place in our health facilities and hospital for that matter. Kotiro General Hospital is just by name from the time it was upgraded from Health Center 4 to a general hospital. It still has all the structures that are were meant for Health Center 4. Honourable Speaker, Kotiro General Hospital has a very large catchment area, simply because the district and the constituencies don't have Health Center 4. So you find all the population goes to this general hospital. Kotiro General Hospital doesn't have a theater. Even the mini theater which is there is not really commissioned for performing surgeries in the hospital. So usually what happens to critically ill patients that need referral, they are referred to Matany Hospital, which is 75 kilometers from Kotido. And as they are referred to Matany, they incur high transport costs, and which also becomes a very big burden to the patients. Kotido General Hospital also doesn't have X-ray machines for that matter. So people still have to go to Kabong, to Matany, Beam Hospital to access these X-ray services. So you can see how pathetic the situation of Kotido General Hospital is. Coming to the human resource, Kotido General Hospital is being served by the workers that have been seconded from Health Center 3 and volunteers. So I think Kotido General Hospital needs a very urgent attention from government. Because when we look even at lack of blood, it's still the same serious situation that we are faced with. Honourable Speaker, I have 5 sub-counties that don't have any health facilities, even if you talk of health center too. So you can imagine how much this is burden are faced by these communities. So there is a need to consider General Hospital for funding to take care of the infrastructure, to take care of recruitment of the personnel, to take care of many services that the people of Kotido would get from this health facility or general hospital for that matter.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Ayeko, I'm reserving it for the 4 regions. Yes, otherwise I've been seeing you.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. And I want to thank the committee for the good report and the fact that they were able to go to Karamoja when other committees chose not to go to Karamoja. Thank you. I want to address my concern to the Karamoja Infrastructure Development Program under the Italian loan. And first of all, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you. When we brought a complaint about the signing of the memorandum for this loan, you supported us very well to make sure this loan was signed. The committee reports about this loan, but they did not go in depth to look at the scope of work that this loan was supposed to address. When the UGIFT program came in 2017 to address the upgrading of L Center 2s to L Center 3s, Karamoja was not considered because of this. Now, what is happening is, after signing of the contract, the scope of work has reduced. We expected the committee probably to look into in depth at what the scope of the Italian loan is doing in upgrading the health centers in Karamoja. If you look at the gap, it's only 52 sub-counties out of 150-something that have health center 3s. Now, when you look at the work that this loan is targeting in these health center 2s, it was supposed to be infrastructure that cover upgrading of the health center to health center 3. However, what is happening is, in some health facilities, they have advertised for a general ward. There is no maternity. There is no, there are no OPDs. In others, they have advertised OPDs. There are no maternity wards. There are no general wards. So the scope has reduced. I would implore that, through you, Mr. Speaker, the committee would look into this in detail and come back with a report on the gaps that this loan was meant to address and what he has not done.
Thank you.
Then finally, Karenga, we have health center 4. Karenga district borders South Sudan, and we receive a lot of patients from South Sudan, but we don't have a general hospital. Even the sub-counties in Kitgum districts that border Karenga come to Karenga to receive support, health support. We would really implore that Ministry of Health looks at upgrading Karenga Health Center 4 into a hospital. Thank you.
Committee on Health, you're instructed to study the performance of that loan. And that's a problem when projects delay. We approved that loan in 2019, 2017. I was on the Committee of National Economy that approved it. Now, the moment you delay, costs keep going up. Money loses value. Out of nothing, you find you've already lost around 50% of the money. So how do you fill that gap? So, committee, please take on that matter and report back to the House within 1 month. Okay? I had allowed Honorable Ogwa Moses and Dr. Yume. Honorable colleagues, I'm receiving many cheats from you, but none is advising me where I can buy time. All of you, you're only asking me an opportunity to speak. So if you could advise me a shop where I can get time, so that I allow all of you to speak, the time we leave, then I'll be...
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to address myself to the report on areas which Dad mentioned. First is the infrastructure area, which was missing. And I want to mention that in Doholo, we have health center 3s which have been built, but they don't have electricity to run things which are required to run under health center 3. And I want to mention 5 of them, which is Amuoma Health Center 3, Atabu Health Center 3, Tetugo, Okwalangwenor, Abalang, and then Igar. These are beautiful, but without electricity to support what we require. The second issue is about human resource. Right, Honourable Speaker, I want to mention that last year we supported a camp, and they operated people in Doholo Health Center for 170. But the problem is now they cannot do any single major operation, yet the facilities are there. And the reason they gave me is that they don't have a surgeon to make the recommendation which is required. So I would request that we look at such human resource who are very key so that we handle. Lastly, we also have a problem in the health center for all our loved ones when they pass on. They are taken to LWA mortuary center. I would request that Dokolo Health Center 4 should at least have a mortuary. What he's saying is a fridge is coming from. You want to give me information?
Honorable Dr. Yume.
Thank you.
Then Honorable Santa Okot.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and good job to the chairperson and his team, the committee, for that report. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to draw my attention to the issue of ICU. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, you've seen how far northern Uganda is from the central where most of the intensive care units, the functional ones, are. If you look at Moroto Regional Referral Hospital, Lira, Gulu, and Arua, these are very far places, and we all know what an ICU does. What we have in place, Right Honorable Speaker, are not ICUs. The equipment is there, but we have high dependency units. A few months ago, we lost a patient in Karamoja, and in my opinion, as a doctor, I think we should not have lost that lady. But we had to transport her all the way from Moroto. We passed Soroti, we passed Mbale, we passed Jinja. Regional hospitals, no functional ICUs. Till Mulago. She was still alive, by God's grace, but she eventually passed on. So these are the things we need to be addressing ourselves to. The other one is dialysis. The health committee 2 years ago set up dialysis in Mbarara, in Mbale, and in Lira. And the plan was to eventually roll out. But I think because of funding this financial year, it was captured as an unfunded priority. I think as a matter of urgency, we need to have dialysis at regional level hospital. At Jumani Hospital, like the woman MP said, it's really operating in a very dilapidated structure, and it really needs urgent attention, at least the maternity unit. Now, Right Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, I'm happy that the Committee on Public Service will address the issues of recruitment, but some of these health center 4s, Right Honorable Speaker, like Pajule, they have medical officers who have not been formalized into service, and they want to leave. And when you ask the district local government, I think there's local government politics. And honorable members, we need to also discern the fact that part of the health system, the biggest bulk is in the local government. So recruitment is a function of the District Service Commission. Right Honorable Speaker, the contractor of the 7-story building in Gulu is being taken to court because of 3 billion shillings that has not been paid out by government. So I think as a matter of urgency, can we please find this money for both Gulu and, Arua Regional Hospital and Gulu Regional Referral Hospitals for their staff complexes. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Santo Code, Dr. Eunice Apio, and Honorable Margaret Lamaka.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to join my colleagues to thank the committee for the good report. However, I would like the chair committee to include the following. When I heard you read the areas where we have got nodding disease, you left the main area where we have really got nodding disease, that is East Acholi district. And the districts are Kitgum, Lamore, Pade, Omoro, and Gulu. Pade district is the district with the highest number. We have got over 5,000 children affected by this nodding disease. And because in Pade district we have got about 10 sub-counties affected, so I request that you include into your list. Secondly, when the president visited Ata sub-county to assess the nodding disease issue, he made promises. He said, number one, he is going to give iron sheets to all the families affected by nodding disease. This was because some of these children, because of mental disturbance, kept on burning the houses of their parents. Then another thing that he made promise of is that Ata Health Center 3 should be elevated to Health Center 4 to cater for these children who are sick of nodding disease. I know a policy is that every county should have one Health Center 4, but this is going to be a special case. We thank the president because he gave one ambulance in the name of these children. Right Honorable Speaker, sometimes back in May, a Choli parliamentary group moved around all these 5 districts to do assessment of these children affected by nodding disease. And when we met the parents, they came out with the following request. Number one, the parents of these children want to know what made their children got this nodding disease. What is this disease called nodding disease? Because it affected them when they were in the camps and then after. Ministry of Health has got the report, but they want to get the report on the ground. The second thing that the parent told us is that they request that the 2 centers, one in Omoro and another one in Kitgum, Tomango. These are 2 care centers which were contracted by a certain white lady in collaboration with government. The parents request that it should be revamped because they have already collapsed, so that when it is open, they can during the day take children there so that it can allow them do some economic activities. The next request they gave is that government always, under the Prime Minister's office, send food to these children. But sometimes they send food once in 6 months. So their request is that if government can find some budget, they would request that they should be paid money, maybe quarterly, so that when the season for food is on, they can buy food and stock, than wait for the 5 kilograms of posho, the 10 kilograms of beans for these children. Those are the few issues I wanted to inform you about the nodding children. Maybe
Thank you.
Information.
No, Honorable, that's not how we use the microphone here, okay? It's not passing on, passing on. Honorable Margaret Lamwaka, or Dr. Eunice up here. Honorable colleagues, I'm just picking 3 more people from the northern region. So I'm receiving many chiefs. I'm on the side of opposition now. I've already finished.
Thank you very much.
I'm picking from each party. I've already picked UPC. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I am grateful for being taken out of Katebe by you, because I've been struggling to do this, to catch the eye of the presiding officer for the last 3 days, and I'm really grateful. I'll go ahead, yes, thank you very much. There are 3 things which I would like to highlight, Mr. Speaker. The first is curative services abroad. Yesterday, the public heard from the presiding officer that the Minister of Health was going to be leaving abruptly to clear a patient for travel abroad. And so the whole night I received a number of calls from my constituents who have similar cases, and they're seeking for answers and wondering if such a service, you know, curative services abroad, which some of them know is costed or can go up to $500 billion shillings in the country every year, can be open to the general public. One of my constituents has a 4-month-old baby, baby Jasmine, from Oyam. Baby Jasmine has been referred by Mulago to India for treatment. But like other cases that had been earlier referred, Jasmine's parents are waiting in vain. They're waiting for their baby to die. So I would like this case to be taken up and explained to the public. Is this curative funding that is available every year for curative services abroad open to ordinary Ugandans or not? That is one. Two, we have an ailing system, health system in Oyam. We've been singing about this for years, Right Honourable Speaker. Oyam district has a population of more than 500,000 currently, and one health center 4 hospital, which we've been begging the country, begging the leaders to be able to upgrade to a hospital at least. We need a general hospital, at least one, and then we need another health center 4 to help serve our people, who are currently, you know, having to travel to Gulu and to other districts to access such services, which is really very expensive. But also we have other issues in the district. One, we have inadequate wage bill amounting to about 1.6 billion this year, and we are hoping that it's going to be taken up so that we have enough staff across all of our health centers. We also have 2 sub-counties that have no health center 3s, health center 3s, and we are expecting or hoping that this can be taken care of expeditiously. And then finally, I would like to supplement and say that about 10 of my health centers in Oyam County North are currently not connected to the national grid, national electricity grid. And as my honourable colleague from Dokoro North stated, this is affecting services across the board when it comes to access to health services. But also, I would like to appeal to the ministry directly, since they're here, that we have soaring numbers of maternal mortality in the district. I didn't hear that in the report, and I would like the committee, if possible, to link some of these services that they're talking about, some of these facilities are talking about, to actual, you know, practical statistics of performances when it comes to health indicators. So I would like that to be sorted out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable Margaret Lamaka. If DC agree on one, I choose for you. DP, I will choose the Honourable Kero. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank you for setting you high on me, at least so that I say a word or two. Right Honourable Speaker, Kitgum District is having a general hospital which is handling more than 2-3 districts. Referrals from Kabong District, referral from Karenga District, referral from Lamour District, and referral from South Sudan always come to Kitgum District. And we had been requesting several times that Kitgum District should be upgraded to a referral hospital, just that we would be able to treat all the patients which comes from all this area. Mr. Speaker, sir, in Kitgum Hospital, being a general hospital which was built in 1957, down the road, does not have a cold room or a mortuary where we could keep the dead bodies or unknown people who normally get accidents on the way. Last financial year, in 2019,
1.7 billion shillings was projected for the cold room, but up to date, as I talk, the technicians or the technocrats from ministry keep on coming to survey and they go back. I don't know when our cold room is going to be constructed. Another issue which is also affecting Kitgum district so much, Mr. Speaker, is the appointing of the staff. Well aware that some clinical officers upgraded to doctors, and some doctors upgraded to masters, and they are now consultants. The challenge that we are having now, even when there is deployment of interns, Kitgum district is not receiving these people. Is not receiving the interns simply because there is nobody, according to them, who can now supervise these interns. My prayer is, why can Ministry of Public Service open recruitment, especially for doctors? If we are thinking of the health and education of Uganda, we should think of recruiting the doctors and making sure that our health centers, hospitals are more equipped. In that, Madam, Mr. Speaker, sir, finally, as he's saying, most of the sub-counties that we have do not have health centers free, as it had been alluded by my colleagues, and more so, we neighbor Namor district, and Dr. Drip do in making some infrastructures like secondary schools and what. My prayer is that if they could maybe take like Kitgum district, one of the health centers or Kitgum hospital to build at least some maternity ward or children ward to help us really contain those patients who normally come and they lie on the ground without even mattresses, without even mat. Mr. Speaker, I beg to submit.
Thank you. Honorable Kero Nelson. No.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Sorry. No, please. I picked DP. Yes, DP.
Thank you, but I'm Okero Nelson.
No, sorry. Okero DP. Sorry, UPC I had already picked. UPC everywhere, you're even in DP. sorry, Honorable Engineer.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, my name is Okelo Geoffrey Charles.
Yes, sorry, sir.
And I'm the Member of Parliament for Nwaya East County. Let me join my colleagues to thank the presenters and the committee for bringing us to speed with health issues in northern Uganda. Mr. Speaker, issue number one that I thought they could have recommended would have been feedback from the ministry on policy matters that are under implementation. This includes, Honorable Speaker, the upgrading, the phasing out of Health Center 2 to upgrade them to Health Center 3 for all Health Center 2s. Number two, there are specific Health Center 4s, Health Center 3s that were supposed to have been upgraded by now to Health Center 4. And we need feedback from the ministry so that we don't debate the same thing again and again without mentioning the one in my constituency. Mr. Speaker, sir, the other general issue is also an ambulance for every constituency. This is a policy matter that should just be implemented, and we only need feedback so that it spares us. Mr. Speaker, There is one general problem also across Uganda, not just northern Uganda. The mismatch between equipment and personnel. Just next to us here, government of Uganda has invested a lot of money to establish cancer treatment center for northern Uganda, just here in Gulu. Mr. Speaker, the information we have is that the equipment that are here are adequate to serve northern Uganda, but the personnel are missing. The ministry needs to assure us that they are focusing at trying to harmonize between equipment and personnel. Mr. Speaker, there are several health centers that are lacking electricity in order to do so much. Ministry of Energy should work with Ministry of Health so that we know for sure and we have those on record of Parliament and record of government, so that we don't spend a lot of time. Finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, in my constituency here, there's a problem with coded health centers that should be receiving drugs and they don't receive drugs. Why are they coded? Can we have a policy paper on that from the minister responsible? I thank you very much. Welcome to Northern Uganda.
Thank you. Now, honorable colleagues, I can see this is a very critical item, which I think would be unfair to conclude without giving real adequate time. My thinking is that we could adopt the report for now, then I require the minister to bring a comprehensive response in 2 weeks, okay? And then we'll reopen the debate based on the comprehensive responses. I think it could be, no, shortcuts, honorable, I know the tricks of shortcuts, okay? Today I'm, because there is a specific issue for Northern Uganda that I want to give space now. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I just want to be on record that yesterday the Minister of Health, represented by the Minister of State in charge of primary health care, Honorable Margaret Muhanga, she was here and meant to be here today, but because of urgent call to Kampala, she was permitted by the Speaker, and the Chief Whip delegated myself together with Dr. Omona, me being the emeritus, to respond where possible to matters raised pertaining health and allow the minister go to handle issues in Kampala. Right, Honorable Speaker, indeed yesterday there were issues raised on health. I responded to it.
Honorable Minister, please.
I just want to tell those who were
Listen, Honorable Minister.
Yes.
When a speaker is giving guidance, when I say comprehensive, it means I need a substantive minister for health. When I say comprehensive, when I say respond, okay, any minister can represent, but comprehensive, so that we carry on the debate. That's what I mean.
Speaker, I was just saying the issues of yesterday could also be brought, the ones with today. That is what I was trying to imply, so that it is comprehensively responded by the sector minister. And I declare that my responsibility, with your guidance, the minister will bring a comprehensive report in regards to that. I thank you.
Thank you. Honorable colleagues, what I'm trying to avoid is a situation as if discussing issues of Northern Uganda is ending today. No, we have just started. So on 17th, we shall start with this one. We have an option of either suspending the debate, we'll resume it on 17th, or we adopt the report, the minister gives a response, a comprehensive response, and then we discuss from an informed point of view. And Honorable Mushemeza, yes?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And since I came, this is the first word to say. And I'm raising on point of procedure. Since we came, we have been identifying what we want to be done. Nobody has raised the issue of income, where money is going to come from. For example, we could have a commitment from government whether they will bring a supplementary budget, and we're knowing that that supplementary budget will also make some other areas we appropriated to be suppressed because there is scarcity of resources. Are we proceeding very well? When we continue to bring in shopping lists without addressing the issue of income, where money will come from for all these things we're talking about, are we proceeding very well, Right Honorable Speaker?
Thank you, Honorable Mshemeza. This is the issue which the President alluded to yesterday. Exactly, it's in line. But I think the issue for honorable colleagues, for them, they present their issues. And then when government comes with a budget, we shall see how best we shall handle. Debate suspended on this matter, it shall resume on 17th. Now, honorable colleagues, debate on this matter suspended. So I will start with you, honorable colleagues, on 17th. Honorable colleagues, there is an urgent matter which I felt once we are in northern Uganda, at least for it, we could come out when we've handled. Honorable Anton Akor brought the issue to do with the National Customary Land Registry. I feel it's an issue we can handle here. So let's allow that motion.
Motion for a resolution of Parliament urging government to establish a national customary land registry.
Honorable Anton Akor.
Right Honorable Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity. We were all worried, and even the people of Northern Uganda were worried about this particular motion. Right Honorable Speaker, motion for a resolution of Parliament urging government to establish a national customary land registry. We move under Rule 56 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament. Whereas Article 237(3) of the Constitution provides that land ownership in Uganda shall be under the customary, freehold, milo, and leasehold tenure systems. And whereas the Land Act Cap 236 describes customary land tenure as a system of land tenure regulated by the customary rules, which are limited in their operation to the particular description or a class of persons whose incidence includes applicability to a specific area of land and a specific description or class of persons, and recognizes communal ownership and use of land, among others. Aware that Section 4 of the Land Act, Cap 236, provides for a certificate of customary ownership of land, which according to Section 7 of the same Act is issued by a recorder and approval by the District Land Board. Further, aware that under Section 69(2) of the Land Act, Cap 236, the recorder is the custodian of the records of customary ownership of land and is required to deposit a copy of certificate of customary ownership of land with the District Land Board. Noting that according to Section 69(3) of the Land Act, Cap 236, a recorder is a sub-county chief in the case of a rural area, a town clerk in a case of a gazetted urban area, or an assistant town clerk in the case of a division of a city. Further noting that the Milo, freehold, and leasehold land tenure system have a national land registration system provided for under the Registration of Title Act, Cap 240. Concerned that there is no national customary land register, and as a result, the sub-regions of Acholi, Lango, Teso, West Nile, and Karamoja, which are predominantly under the customary land tenure system, face challenges of legal verification of land ownership and are hence prone to incident of land grabbing and protracted conflict, which compromises the right to property and endangers the livelihood of the indigenous communities. Convinced that in order to address these challenges associated with the current registration of customary land ownership, there is need to establish a national customary register. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Parliament urges government to establish a national customary land registry in order to provide for a central registration and information center for customary land ownership. Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to move.
Is the motion seconded? Honourable Gilbert Oranja, Honourable Okero Geoffrey, Honourable Okero Nelson, Honourable Sata, Tochi, Honourable Barimoy, Honourable Aogon, Abrahams, Felix Okoto Gong, Minister Umona Nyakrach, Azar, Anua Richard, and again David, all the whole House, Honourable colleagues, all of you, you have supported. Honourable, kindly speak to your motion, and you're the only one who will speak on this.
Right Honourable Speaker, under the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, Article 237, there are 4 tenure systems which are actually at the same level. But unfortunately, since 1995 to date, the other tenure system has a national registry, but the customary land ownership has been rendered vulnerable. And because of that, the owners of the customary land ownership has been forced to transform their land tenure system to freehold to leasehold. And this contravenes what is in the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. And those who are owning the customary land owners has been prone to conflict, and more so, their land has been rendered very cheap. They cannot even access loan using their security of land because the registry is not there. Right Honourable Speaker, this motion is actually based on the fact that these are Ugandans who need to be protected, and therefore, since you don't have a lot of time, Right Honourable Speaker, I request for the support from the members of Parliament. I beg to move. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable colleagues. I put the question that a motion for resolution of Parliament urging government to establish a national customary land register be adopted. Those in favour say aye, and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. This is very straightforward. Thank you, Honourable. Honourable colleagues, the items that have not been considered will be considered on the next session of Parliament. We've tried to run a marathon. The order paper was so big, you know, and I'm seeing some level of dissatisfaction if we continue debating rushing without giving members adequate time. So we would rather carry the items forward so that we give them adequate time instead of appearing as if we are rushing and Northern Uganda, as if Northern Uganda is going somewhere. We won't be able to see it in the future. Honourable Omona, Minister for Northern Uganda. Honourable Court to ask a procedure matter, as Honourable Omona comes.
Right Honourable Speaker, my procedure matter is to draw your attention to our rules of procedure, Rule 95, which is on ex-officio members of Parliament. Right Honourable Speaker, I noted that at the time of voting, you made mention on the last motion, you made mention of the Honourable Dr. Omona, who is an ex-officio member of Parliament, who by 95, provision 95 is not supposed to vote.
Did we carry out any vote in the House, Honourable? So that's why you didn't stand up, you thought we were voting.
Much obliged.
Yeah, ex-officio members are allowed to second, but they are not allowed to vote.
Much obliged, Right Honourable.
Thank you, Honourable. Yes, Honorable Mona.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I want to take this great opportunity to thank all of you for your patience and deliberations during this very historic and auspicious occasion when the Parliament sits in the region of northern Uganda and particularly on this ground, Kaunda ground in Gulu City. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you again for giving a lot of attention also to the matters pertaining this region. I know very well, Right Honorable Speaker, that time has not been enough, and also that we don't have to ignore the rest of the country as a debate matters of northern Uganda. However, I am very, very confident and very happy that much as not everything about northern Uganda has been exhaustively discussed here, at least a substantial number of issues have been raised here, and they have brought to light an emphasis on matters of northern Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, I was told that for these last 3 days, everywhere in northern Uganda here, people are either glued to the TV channels or listen to radio, paying great attention to the debates of the matters of Uganda and particularly northern Uganda. I want to thank very much the people of northern Uganda also to giving attention and listening to the matters concerning their region. Right Honorable Speaker, a lot has been said here, but important, Right Honorable Speaker, like you have heard, many issues in northern Uganda here are historical issues. And therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to employ and call upon the leaders of northern Uganda, both elected, appointed, opinion leaders, and religious leaders, to take it very, very seriously to get the people, especially on matters of wealth creation. Because wealth creation, Right Honorable Speaker, is a personal effort. Here in northern Uganda, particularly here in Gulu, we have started calling the campaign for wealth creation as Giri Giri. Giri Giri is actually meaning yours is yours. What is yours is personal. It is really a personal effort, and I want to call upon all the leaders in northern Uganda here to take this very seriously. Secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, I also want to call upon the leaders of northern Uganda. Since many of your issues here are historical, please tell your children about your past. Tell your children about your history. Pleasant or bitter, good or bad, your society, your children must know your past. Because this is very important. It will guide your future. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, I cannot thank you enough, but I want to call upon all the people in northern Uganda, especially those who have been watching you and those who have been following from radios and others, to take it seriously that this has been an opportunity to highlight the issues of northern Uganda. And I hope it will also help you, and it will also help you to follow up on matters of your country in all your areas, in your communities, in your workplaces, so that you help government, help your leaders in monitoring and debating matters of your society. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to say that all said and done, Right Honorable Speaker, all this we have debated here, all this we have said here, must fall on the positive and fertile energies to produce good outcome. So I want to emphasize the issue of history and our stories, because it is from that we must find forgiveness, so that we focus our energy towards socio-economic transformation. Right Honorable Speaker, borrowing from one American poet, Walt Whitman, I want to say to you, the people of northern Uganda, that get up to your feet, dust off your knees and bottoms, and keep your faces towards the sunshine, and the shadows will fall behind you. I thank you very much for your kind attention, and God bless you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Mona. Thank you to the people of northern Uganda for the warm reception. It's been an awesome experience. The hospitality, the people in the streets and all that, they all welcomed us. But I'm going to call someone who is not from northern Uganda to give a vote of thanks on behalf of the rest of the members, and I'll call Honorable Ayeku. In the meantime, as he comes in front here, the issues which were not covered in the reports, I couldn't bring them on now when we've not completed receiving the reports. So we shall complete that process from Kampala. We do a memorandum, which we shall hand over to government. Honorable Ayeku, on behalf of other members of Parliament.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
And you can tell us the experience, because I know the time you've been sleeping.
Right Honourable Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to thank the people of Northern Uganda. Right Honourable Speaker, we have been here, but some of us don't want to leave. Because this area has fresh air. Right Honourable Speaker, I have not polished my shoe ever since I came from Kampala. So I want to thank the people of Northern Uganda for the hospitality. Right Honourable Speaker, the food has been very good. The hotels have been very exceptional. You sleep and rest well. Right Honourable Speaker, even the garbage collection is very good. There are no landfills to collapse here. Right Honourable Speaker, the experience we have had in Northern Uganda for the few days, these people are good people. And we should appreciate. If only one could think like me, I would even move a motion. And we leave Kampala to be a commercial city and make Gulu a business city. Right Honourable Speaker, as I conclude on thanking the people of Northern Uganda, not only, even in the night, we have been peaceful, we have been walking, moving around, these people are friendly. None of us is injured, there is no case registered, they are hospitable. And indeed, if we're looking for tourist attraction areas also, let's enhance Northern Uganda. Tourists like good roads. Tourists like good hotels. Tourists like good food. We have put on weight. You can see, Right Honourable Speaker, this is not my original size, but I'm sure because of being in the city of Gulu, I am now a better person. And finally, want to congratulate all the members of Parliament from Northern Uganda for being hospitable. Some of us didn't have cars and they were able to provide. And we could move around because we couldn't move with our costers. So I want to thank my fellow colleagues also for their hospitable reception they have given us. And finally, I wish everybody a safe journey, and those who are still around, Right Honourable Speaker, we are still around. The holiday is still on. We are still in Gulu, and then we shall return officially on Monday. I beg to submit, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable. We all share your statements. We all share your message. Honourable colleagues, I want, in a special way, on behalf of the leadership of Parliament, thank you for your time. And in a special way, the colleagues who spearheaded this, the heads of associations in the region, but we had our coordinators on ground, especially the Honourable Mapenduza and Honourable Antonako. You guys did a fantastic job. House adjourned to 17th at 2 p.m. 17th of September, 2 p.m.
kulaba Star TV emunyenye y'eggwanga.
Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja Ankole segment. Learn about the fabrication of Ankole Kingdom from Nkore at the detriment of Mpororo states. What is the